Now, the major news in the United States is, of course, the arrest of Roger Stone, the former campaign advisor to Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign, and then he actually ended up recusing himself from that position. Now, the FBI raided his house early yesterday morning, and they actually came in armed to the teeth, assault rifles, the whole deal, which is not very common for someone who is accused of a white-collar crime. Now, Stone is, of course, being charged with including obstruction and witness tampering. He was arrested at his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, following Thursday's indictment by the Office of the U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller, which is investigating Trump and his associates over allegations surrounding his 2016 campaign. Stone is facing 1 count of obstruction of proceedings, 1 count of witness tampering, and 5 counts of false statements. Now, what he's being accused of is telling campaign officials in July 2016 about the future WikiLeaks releases of damaging information that was leaked from the DNC emails. Now, these are the famous ones that ended up getting Hillary Clinton into a great deal of trouble and has, of course, been attributed to Russia, even though the forensic evidence, what amount of it there has been allowed to be investigated, that the data transfer rate of the emails was too fast to have been done online. It was actually done through a USB device attached to one of the computers. This whole story that Russia is somehow responsible for stealing the election and for stealing these emails from the DNC servers is completely false, but he is charged with telling them that they were coming. Now, U.S. intelligence claims it was government actors, but it was really a hack from the inside. Now, exactly what's being said is that the indictment says that Stone lied to the House Intelligence Committee about his alleged contacts with WikiLeaks and tried to convince another person to give false testimony. So these are pretty serious crimes. Well, if you lie to the House Intelligence Committee and they can prove it, you're going to jail for a very long time. This is a very serious accusation. And knowing Mueller, he wouldn't be doing this unless he had a significant amount to charge him with. Now, keep in mind that he's not really being charged with having anything to do with Russia, but in fact, lying about it. So we do have to keep that context there, and that's a serious crime in itself. Now, he's looking at a very long time in prison if he can be convicted, and he very probably could be, because Mueller does do a pretty thorough job on these kinds of things. Unless, of course, he rats out Donald Trump. Now, that's going to be very interesting. What possible information could he have on Donald Trump? Now, keep in mind, previously, Donald Trump celebrated the man as someone who would never turn his back on him. Roger Stone was very solid and would never snitch, would never do anything like that. And now, this is kind of one of those situations where every person who says that they would never snitch usually end up snitching. Now, I don't believe that there's going to be anything that shows that there was any Russian stealing of the election. Of course, Trump's a billionaire. He's as crooked as the day is long. You don't even get to be a billionaire unless you do something, unless you're pretty greasy as it is. So I'm sure they're going to find something, dirty business dealings, maybe some dealings with the Russian government, but not actually tied to the election. Well, you'll probably find that. You'll probably find all kinds of illegal stuff in Donald Trump's past, which is why we can't see the tax returns, etc. But I don't think there's going to be anything coming out that actually criminalizes Russia itself. But Donald Trump is not in a very good situation because Roger Stone looks like the kind of guy who will sing if put under enough pressure.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.